Okay, we're back.
What's up, y'all?
I'm Jared, by the way.
I'm Josh.
I'll get in close so I can show everybody and explain to my goofed up eyes for this week.
See that? You see that?
It's not conjunctivitis. I've explained it to everybody that I come into contact with, and they're like, oh. Apparently, through going to Shake Shack last Friday, going to Atlanta Motor Speedway Saturday night, which I shouldn't have done, I got like super sick this last week. And apparently, you can sneeze, cough, blow your nose so hard that blood vessels in your eye will just go and just explode. So that's what I've been dealing with.
That sucks, brother.
You know, the first day it happened, you would have convinced me with that it was conjunctivitis because it was more all over and kind of pussy and gross looking. Might have convinced me, but it wasn't. I was never contagious. Just gross looking.
Yeah.
So, been doing my, redness relief drops every day, and little by little it kind of gets better each morning. But I still nervous every time I get up. Like, be careful. So that's what's up with what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. I was telling the man, I've only blown mine up like that a couple of times, but both times it was from sneezing. Both times I was just getting like crazy allergy season, and
Yeah.
yeah, man, so that's cool, brother.
And another thing, I knew it wasn't pink eye because it didn't hurt. I wasn't rubbing it and I wasn't, spreading anything anywhere. It just looks like it does. And I Googled the pictures of each the next day, and you could tell, okay, conjunctivitis is all over, and I didn't have that going on. I just had like a straight beam of red from inside to the iris, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I'm bad with the eyes too. I don't know the parts.
And that's exactly what busted blood vessels look like. So, see, this is what I have. I just can't tell you how I did it. I have some ideas. I'll try to never do it again, but I'm wondering if this is part of me getting old, where whenever you get a cold, this is probably going to happen too. But this is totally new to me. I've never had it happen, so I'm just dealing with it and grossing people out while they're trying to eat.
Hey, it's cool, man. If they can't handle the eye, they need to just find themselves another Zaxby's to eat at. That's what I say. There's the exit door right there.
I reserved this booth.
Don't you go on and go.
I sit underneath the photo of Arnold and John Travolta and Berton Leon Reynolds Jr. the third.
Berton Leon Reynolds Jr. is hanging above this here table. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm going to be eating.
That's going to be having my nibblers.
Exactly, man. Nothing says nibblers like Gator McCluskey.
They frown on me bringing my Sweetwater 420 in here and eating my Wacky Pack.
For real. Every time they do, I say, you better not leave your face like that and get stuck.
So I will have it here and I'll go home.
They said, sir, I don't think you should bring your beer in here. And I said, what?
What? And say it to my good ear. Do what?
What did you say to me about my beer? What?
That's a new character that we've created.
Yeah, we've created what, man? I don't know why, but just in the middle of dinner tonight, we decided to just ask each other what 1,000 times over and over again.
Do what?
Huh? So that's all right. We're quite happy with our stupid new creation.
Do what?
That's awesome. Still digging it.
It's a week without, at least, not a pay-per-view to talk about, but there's still plenty of WWE news going around. I know that's what you come here for.
That's right, man. You want to hear
what you want to hear somebody bitch and moan about.
You want to hear our take, hear us whine about what we don't like. Or in this case, what we do like. I think the only thing I've seen, the commercials worked, and I had to watch John and Nakamura.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was really good, man, because we've discussed this since Nakamura coming to America has been a thing. Shinsuke Nakamura being booked as anything other than a special attraction, I think is a mistake. I think it's a waste of time. Now, my original idea was to have Miz hold the Intercontinental title for a long time.
Yeah.
And then when you debut either Joe or Nakamura, have them beat him for it and then go on a big tear with it. Well, I've since rethought that. only in the sense that I do wish that's what they would have done with Joe, because Joe is somebody you can watch all the time. And I love Nakamura. I think he's great, but it's like we've said before, and we'll say it again now. Shinsuke is really unique, man. And anybody that unique, the odds of loving what they do or hating what they do are pretty equal.
Yeah.
It's either going to be your thing or it's not. There's very little gray in that presentation and that style. So keeping him special, I think, is a way better idea, man, as opposed to putting him on TV every week, which it worked in NXT. Because Jared mentioned earlier, man, people griping about the Sami Zayn match. Not that it wasn't good, just that it's that's the last time.
Reached that pinnacle again. Like,
And I totally disagree.
Come on.
I'm with the man. I mean, I love the Sami Zayn match, but how many people have had matches that good ever?
can't do that every night.
Exactly. And also, I think a lot of people need to check themselves on that, because that was big fight atmosphere. It was debut. You were excited. You were all titillated. And maybe you let yourself get carried away. And I'm not saying the match wasn't that great. It was. It's just that to let it kind of muck up the rest of the stuff you watch and ruin other things he's doing, I think that's a mistake. Because we talked about the Joe stuff.
That Joe stuff was good.
Yeah.
And even the Bobby Roode stuff. And
Thought so, too.
whoever else he feuded with down there, it wasn't too many people.
Yeah, he wasn't there very long.
So,
He was there long enough to knock Austin Aries' face off, but
yeah, did that.
That's a bummer.
Check that box.
For real, man. he was there long enough to Seth Rollins, Austin Aries' face.
Sorry.
No, you're good, brother. But, no, it's cool. I just the Corbin stuff, obviously, I hate, which is groovy because I think everybody does. I think anything related to Battleground, pretty much everybody hates. The reviews, that's some funny YouTube watching. Just go watch reviews for that show, because
Oh, Jesus.
it is over the top with how much people hated it. It was bad. I mean, we talked about it. It was bad.
Toilet bowl.
It was bad, man. So I'm with you. But I don't know. I just think that Nakamura and AJ Styles, man, if you're not signing those guys to be top guys, don't bring them in. And not even Nakamura is your top guy. Because, again, the thing, if he won the Intercontinental Championship, he'd be on TV all the time. And if you see him on TV all the time, it's not special anymore. Joe, you can have on TV all the time because he's good. And I'm not saying Nakamura doesn't vary his matches, but he don't. He is what he is. Shinsuke Nakamura is that. He is what he is. So it's like, I love the idea of him just showing up every now and again and being a special attraction. And in that idea, or that vein, I guess is the word I'm looking for. That's why I thought the Cena match was cool. It's like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff you bring this guy over for, man. And I thought it was good. It was for a TV match, for just a sweet little or a short little TV match to see what they can do with each other. Because I mean, if you take the match they had, stretch it out for about 10 minutes, make those 10 minutes Cena offense, but put it here and then put it here and put it here. It was awesome. I really dug it, man.
So, what do you see happening from here? Does Nakamura beat Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam, or does Baron Corbin come down with a false cash in and cause him to lose to Jinder?
I can't see Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin ever wrestling each other for any reason that anybody would give a crap about. And so the whole, Corbin Nakamura thing, I'm afraid they're going to try and pay that off with a title match, whatever. Who cares? And that's a little frustrating too, kind of like we talked about.
Could Baron be the first? Jinder beats Nakamura beats Jinder, Baron cashes in and loses.
I hope not.
Could that happen?
I hope not, only because, like we talked about, man, it's bad enough that you've got Nakamura losing to Baron Corbin. But the only thing worse than having Nakamura be the guy to put Corbin over is to build Corbin up and then have him lose anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just it seems it's worse. Not somehow. I think it's worse to waste Nakamura putting this guy over and then have him lose too. Then you wasted both of them. If they want Baron Corbin to be this unbeatable killer guy, it's dumb to have him lose again. I just think I don't know, man. It's kind of like we were saying. I thought it would have been a lot cooler to have him lose the Money in the Bank match and then kick up from there. And if that's the guy that you want to keep moving, and that's the guy that... It's very strange that we want to keep pushing Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman when the conventional wisdom of pro wrestling is that monsters don't get belts, because how do you get it off of them? You don't. They don't need it, man. But I mean, Corbin needs it because I don't think he's that good. He doesn't need it though, because given the champion, they've proven so many times giving a belt to anybody doesn't mean nothing. It's the guy. It's the guy, man.
I just think maybe they would start to realize that, and this might be a way just to start fresh. Is just get it. We messed up this time, and just have him cash in and lose.
It could be. I guess my question about that would be: it still doesn't get you out from underneath having Baron or Jinder Mahal as your champ, because that's the mistake.
Well, that's my idea is Nakamura wins the match.
Oh, I heard you
cashes
wrong.
in.
I heard you wrong. I apologize because the
still-
mental image
he
I
still
got
loses.
was Gender beating both of them. I'm sorry about that. I heard you wrong. It could be. I don't. I mean,
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, if they want to walk away from it, I'm cool with that because boy, do I hate that feud. Hate it. But I'm a little weird. It sounds like just the typical internet crapping on whatever you do, man. I'm a little weird about the idea of Nakamura being the champ. I mean, I'm cool with it eventually, but like I was just saying, he just doesn't need it. That guy's he's bigger than that. But I mean, dude, if they got a plan, if they've got a plan, and for the love of God, they'll stick to it. Like if the ultimate idea is to put him and AJ in there, I mean that's cool. As long as there's a plan, it's okay. But yeah, that'd be okay, man.
Well, since we're talking about SummerSlam, what do you think they'll do on the Universal title side?
I think Alexa Bliss will win it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
just,
what we're hoping for.
why not? You're the most popular wrestler on the face of the earth, the Universal title. I have a really bad feeling about the Universal title match. It's really strange. I don't know why I can't shake it. I hope it's Joe. Because again, we want to.
That's what I go
my
with.
contract's coming up, and I don't want to re-sign. I understand if Brock doesn't want to re-sign, but it's about time to get that daggum belt off of him because this is getting old.
Yeah.
I hope that it's going to be Joe because I don't think that Roman and Braun are done yet.
Braun.
And you don't. Yeah, for real. He's got a T-shirt now. That's all it says on it. It's pretty awesome. I just want to see Dean Ambrose wearing one. I just that'd be funny. I hope that's what's going to happen. Is I hope that Joe is going to slay the dragon like we've talked about forever, and that you'll just have the veer off with Roman and Strowman just murdering each other because that doesn't feel over yet, and it does not need to be for the title.
Okay.
I hope that's what they're going to do anyway.
That'd work.
That's not the bad feeling I had. The bad feeling I had was them giving it to Strowman and then having that rivalry finish up for the strap. When I said I had a bad feeling about it, and then I went off into the thing that I want to see. I'm like, that might not make very much sense. I hope that Joe wins it. The bad feeling is I'm afraid that Braun gets the belt, and then Roman's got to go take it from him, and we're going to finish this rivalry. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah. 6 months later.
Yeah, seriously. You put me in an ambulance and tried to kill me. Now I'm the champion of the universe.
So stop.
That's right. You're mean, Roman Reigns. Jerk.
So you have Lesnar hinting at wanting to go back to UFC to supposedly fight John Bones Jones. Why does anybody want to see that?
I can't imagine
Why?
anybody wanting to see that.
It's like the druggie and deadbeat match.
I don't quite understand that, man. It's just all I can figure is Dana must be backing up the Brinks truck to Lesnar to try and get Jones back on track because Bones was their guy, and then he messed himself up, and it's like just trying to. I mean, I know. Well, we talk about WWE struggling to make new stars, man. I know UFC has to try and manufacture them every hour of the day because you had Ronda, and Ronda got beat, and now you've got Conor. Connor's going to make money elsewhere, man. So it's like you have to try.
Spiral.
Yeah.
Ever since that happened.
UFC is really kind of. I mean, it's going way back. Liddell was kind of the beginning of the end because ever since then, man, you manufacture your top guys. And what's so funny about that, man, is so many people hate George St. Pierre, and I get that you don't like him because he's a snuffer. Nobody can beat the guy. They still talk about Matt Serra being, it's the greatest episode. Oh my God, Matt Serra! But they never talk about that rematch, do they? And there's a reason that you don't because Matt Serra, good for you, Matt. You won a match that you shouldn't have won, but oh my God, did you get exposed in that second one? And it's just people don't want to talk about that. And I get it. It's basically because I get it from Dana White's perspective because basically GSP was calling the shots, and it's like, you don't pay me enough. You're going to pay me more if you want me to come back. So you kind of got a slag on that guy. And it's just funny because you try so hard to make Rousey unbeatable and Anderson Silva unbeatable. And the guy you had that's the closest thing to unbeatable on planet Earth you hate because he doesn't play the game for you. And people don't like him because, he's such a defensive fighter. That's how you win stuff, y'all. I know UFC is a young little, zygote of a sport. Defense is how you win anything. That's just how it is, man. If you can't hit anybody, you can't do nothing. That stuff is ridiculous. But yeah, I feel bad for him, man, because you want it to be like WWE, but then you don't want to book it. It's like, that's a problem, brother. You can't tell everybody in Memphis that Jerry Lawler can't be beaten up and then put him in a real fight. What would happen? But Jerry Lawler wasn't in a fight. Jerry Lawler was a wrestler, and that's how come he's still the king. By golly.
By cracky.
By golly, that's how come Jerry's still the man.
It's need better writers in UFC. That's all they need.
I think, so, dude. Just start booking the stuff, man. Because every sport's booked anyway, man. I'm telling you. I know I still get the sour grapes Atlanta fan all the time, but if y'all bought that last Super Bowl, I don't know what to tell you. If you thought that crap was real, I just don't know what to tell you.
You're just what?
What?
I think you might be done, boy.
What? Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Dude, what?
Hopefully that's entertaining to anybody out there.
It's all good. We just do the show for us anyway. For real. I go and watch these videos, and it's like 33 views, and I'm like, well, at least 26 of them are me. So I watch it all the time.
Not the rest.
That's right. It's my favorite TV show's the one I'm on. Woo. Because it is my show, and to sing the Tom Green song.
Yeah. It might be copyrighted. We might get a little bit of a, cease and desist.
C&D ski.
If I had any type of video editing talent or musical talent, I would have had that as our intro already. But guess what? Our intro is...
And we're back. That's us, buddy. For real.
I'm a videographer.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? That's our outro music. Sausages.
We need to put a window back here and have somebody chilling out like Glenn.
That's a cool
Glenn
idea.
and the guy in the window.
That's a cool idea, man. We can totally do that. We can do the Countess from Pee-wee's Playhouse. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, Jumbie.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. We're just
yeah.
we're swinging for the lawsuit fences today, buddy. We're just the Aaron Judge of litigation. That's us, buddy.
Gonna make it happen.
I feel bad for saying that because Bellinger is clearly the better player, but what can you say? Judge is in New York City, hits big long home runs.
Yeah,
cool.
That's what we're down with.
It's a cool story. It's all good. But my favorite thing about Bellinger and the Dodgers is that you can win 43 games out of 50, but because ESPN has to pay charter if they want to run them. That East Coast West Coast bias thing is real. I mean, it's real. We always make there's always the dismissive. Well, it's a business. Well, it's a business. Yeah, it is, and that's the point. You don't get as much money for advertising on the West Coast because it ain't prime time out there. It's like, well, it's 7 o'clock in San Francisco. Yeah, 10 o'clock on my watch there, buddy. And corporate headquarters says it's 10, so we pay you. It's stupid, but it's true.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Lakers, and really the Dodgers too, because you can market those. We've talked about this before, man. Being able to market your sport to other countries is a very big deal. Very big deal. So the Lakers have always been the Lakers. Even here, the Lakers are the Lakers. But Golden State's a big deal because of the other side. You got to go out past the Pacific. They don't care about the Atlantic coast. They're going for foreign markets. It's working for the NBA. People have constant all this gripe. Well, why do basketball players make so much? I'm in the NFL and I can't get paid. You don't need... that's something I can talk about real quick. You talk about getting hot. We were discussing that, the whole Odell Beckham. I'm going to be the highest paid player in the league. Well, somebody was griping the other day about how you going to be the highest paid player in the league when you're not even the best. You're not the best player at your position. And they're not wrong. As I appreciate that Odie made the catch and he plays in New York City, but you can have Odell Beckham or Julio Jones. Who do you want? Everybody and their mama, including Odell's mama, is picking Julio. So that's cool, but at the same time, that's just BS. He was just talking that mess to get it out there. My frustration is you then go out and do that little shrink wrap package. That it just seems so scripted to me, and it's exactly the kind of thing Roger Goodell would want him to say, which sounds ridiculous about getting paid, but you had Richard Sherman. Leave it to Rich to get it right. I love Richard Sherman. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, I love him to death because he's too smart for his own good, and he's way too honest for his own good. Yeah. But he comes out and he's talking about, NBA guaranteed money, and you see that stuff, and he's like, man, we're going to have to band together. If we're a union, we got to be a union, and we got to stick this thing out and got to be willing to settle the season. That was his point. What the league then took was, he's talking about basketball, let's make it about basketball. And that's the problem now, is you've got Odell Beckham being like, what guys in the NBA are making is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we deserve that kind of money. Well, you just said it was ridiculous. So are you saying that you deserve ridiculous money because you just kind of put down the athletes making more than you, but now you want it? That's completely contradictory.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, for real. And that's the huge thing, is that the situation is this. If you think that NFL players are ever going to make what NBA players do, you're nuts, simply because an NBA team is 14 guys, an NFL team is about 55, maybe 60. It's a lot of guys. They're not going to do it. It's not about how much you make. It is about how much is guaranteed. That's the point, and that's what Richard was trying to say is like, man, those basketball cats have it right, man. We need guaranteed contracts. When Odell comes out, well, it's ridiculous when they get made. I want that kind of money. You change the narrative completely because now, as far as the media is concerned, in their true role of being the divisors of the country, and yes, that's what the media is really in place for. It's the fourth wing of the government, and it's literally just to keep us all pecking each other's eyes out, pretending that these things that we don't have in common that actually matter. So that's the point. If before it was we got to band up, we got to be a union, we got to get guaranteed contracts. Now it's, well, basketball, look how stupid it is what basketball's making. Darn. So now the enemy is basketball players as opposed to the owners that we're going to pay you. This is what the NFL does, man. They're good at it. But that was the most ridiculous thing. Odell's going out there trying to be little Mr. Cool guy in front of the New York media. And I'm like, man, you might as well just pull the paper out your pocket. Because that's the whole reason you were told to say that mess. Don't talk about the owners, Odell. Talk about the money, but make it about the guys that are making it and how jealous you are. Because, boy, you talk about the easiest way to keep folks ticked off. He's got more than me. That's not fair.
I tried to get y'all to unionize in '82. None of you.
That's not right. For real, man. It's like, that is so stupid that now you want to. And also, when NFL was Mr. King Cock of the Walk, man, everything was so cool. It's all about those ratings, man. All about those ratings, guys. Who's number one? Who's number one, guys? Domestically, the NFL is still number one. How you doing internationally?
Never have been very good.
Not so good. Yeah, now with your internet murder of ESPN, something that's funny is how many people want to tell you that, well, ESPN's firing people because folks are tired of the liberal agenda and are tired of left-wing politics in their sports. They've been doing that crap for 25 years, y'all.
Yeah.
That is not why people are getting fired from ESPN. They're getting fired from ESPN for two reasons, and the two reasons merge right together. When you pay $7.5 billion, what?
Do what?
$7.5 billion for the broadcast right to the championship of a regional sport that nobody outside of SEC and Big Ten country give a crap about unless their team is in. Right at the same time that people stop paying their cable company for anything. That might be why you're firing 100 folks. You can call it left-wing politics if you want to, but that's been going on for a long time. They have been having the over-the-top, lefty editorial looking at them. It's worse now because Van Pelt's the worst of all of them. Not with the lefty stuff, but with the looking at the camera and saying things like they actually matter. Giving you my opinion on sports, but not really talking about sports. Like, just, did the White Sox beat the Royals or not? Yes.
Moment of the day, Jerry Springer style.
Everybody. Dude, Jamel Hill and Michael Smith begin the show that way, and I love those guys, but God, that stuff gets so annoying. Oh, my God, it's the worst, man. But, yeah, it's like, I mean, you can pretend that people...
We get it. It was grim.
Seriously. Please, let's move along. Come on, man. I understand. Tim's not in Gainesville anymore, and it hurts. We're all making do. Anyway, I got way afield. Sorry about that, as I tend to do. But yeah, that stuff. That I just thought that because see, that's what I see when I see the news, man. Whenever you can watch the Odell Beckham clip and you can think I'm nuts for deducing that's what it was about. It's because Richard Sherman, it's about if we want these contracts, you better be willing to sit out to get them. Yeah. That's about them and the owners. The people that will actually pay them. As opposed to, well, NBA guys get all that money and that's not fair. And it's just like, what does that have to do with your paycheck? Nothing. Nothing. Did the who is it that owns it's the Maras, isn't it? The Rooneys own the Steelers and the Maras. It's very hard. It's the girl with the dragon tattoos family. They're all like...
The Maras are in New York.
Yeah, the Giants, yeah.
The Rooneys are Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I thought that was right. I get very confused with that girl's name.
Yeah.
But,
because she's both of them.
Yeah, seriously, it's like, boy, it's like Wanda Rotunda, Now that'd be a match made in heaven right there, man. The girl with the dragon tattoo and Bray Wyatt. I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before. That it's the surnames all. But that is right. Yeah, because Kate's the younger sister who was on House of Cards. I always just start thinking of that too. Rooney. I almost said it wrong. Rooney is the older one, and she's the girl with the dragon tattoo, and she's the girl that invented Facebook, if a social network is to be believed.
I buy it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all good. And it is neat, actually. It's one of the cool little side nuggets of watching that movie. She's only in 2 scenes. But it's like when you see her in that movie, and it's like, that's when David Fincher and her struck up a conversation and was like, hey, have you ever read this book by Stieg Larsson? That's kind of cool, man. Stuff like that's neat.
Yeah. Speaking of Facebook, I mean, they almost invented Skynet this week.
They sure did. That was
Awesome.
the weirdest, funkiest story. We all know it's coming. Like I told the man before, and I will admit to you guys, my buddy, my main man here, my buddy Darian, they know of my shame, and I will now tell the internet. About the only thing I use my phone for, like routinely, is Google Maps, because I just love being told where to drive. I love it. I love not getting lost. I love it.
Makes a big difference.
Love it. So whenever I do
I
that,
still get lost plenty even with it on.
me too. But it's usually if the satellite gets knocked out and I can just pull over in a crystal parking lot and nothing like them.
Because I'm bad to have the Google Maps lady tell me where to go, and I'm like, do what?
Oh, what?
Huh?
Huh?
What'd you say?
A left, you say?
Well, it ain't there.
There, what?
Huh?
What left? Oh, left! Oh, that's what I wind up doing about 40 feet down the road. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Skynet. I'm stupid. I'm effing dumb. But every time I get done using Google Maps and I close it down, I open Google back up and I say thank you. And Google says you're welcome. That's what I do. And my buddy Darian is like, what are you doing? I'm like, man, I've seen Terminator, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're just going to kill you first.
Yeah.
And make it, the quickest.
That's what I want. That's all I'm going for. I don't plan to be like a house cat or anything like that, because we're all going. All the meat sacks are going. I would just like to be painless, or as painless as robots are strong. Painless as strong metallic manacles can make it.
The Skynet robots will feed on your medicine, and they are strong.
They're strong because they're made of medicine. Because they're made of metal, and robots are strong. If you guys haven't seen Sam Waterston selling robot insurance,
Old Glory Insurance.
Yes, please watch it, because it's one of the funniest things ever. And I mean, I appreciate that it's taped, and that's awesome that it's taped. But I'm so proud of him for getting through a collection of those to get one continuous no sell. Oh man, it's just awesome.
That would have been hard.
Oh God, yeah, dude, awesome. Old Glory. I forgot what the insurance company was. It's the best.
He couldn't have been shown what was going to be played over those
there's no way.
reeds.
There's no way. It's a friendly robot.
Yeah.
This time. I can't even do it. I don't know how that lady held that this time so hard. That lady rules, man.
That may or may not. If it's on YouTube, it's probably flipped. Just download the SNL app. That's
Absolutely.
all you gotta do.
That's the thing. It's free. Everything in the world is on there. Have fun, man. That, and then watch Rock's robot.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't want to go into
I won't
too many.
spoil that one.
I won't go into
discuss it
details
here,
about
but-
what it is, but just brace yourself if you haven't seen it for Rock's.
The
Pretty sure it's his second line.
The last appearance of The Rock on Saturday Night Live, the evildoer convention award show, whatever it was, it turns into this terrible White Castle commercial. That's all I'm going to say.
That's it. Yeah,
That's
man.
all I'm going to say. That's all you need. If that doesn't get your interest perked up enough, nothing's gonna.
I did not see this live. No kidding. I didn't see this live, but Jared and I were both like, man, I'll bet you anything that sucker aired about 3 minutes before they cut, because it just has that feel. Second half of SNL.
This won't get on.
The second half of SNL is way more fun than the first half, especially these days, because when I say these days, I mean the last 12 years. Well, not 12, but 9. Last 9 years, because
After Weekend Update, after the second musical performance, you can be guaranteed to see some stuff that's going to be weird.
that's the neatest stuff. Because anymore, it's all formula before that, because we have to start out, and for 8 years, we have to be apologetic to Barack Obama. And I love Barack, but let's cut this. Let's just be fair. There were no good jokes made about Barack Obama.
Nope.
So we were real fair to Barack, and then we went to the Weekend Update, which is, I think, awful these days. And then you finally get cool stuff at the end. And now it's just like, let's make the same 4 jokes about Donald Trump that everybody's made. And it's like, keep going, then get past Weekend Update, which is somehow even worse now. And then when you finally get, like you said, second musical performance, like, okay, now we're gonna see some weird crap.
Anyway, I really do hope they get away from that this year. The Alec Baldwin doing Trump every single week got so freaking old. I didn't think it was that funny to begin with.
Trump, unfortunately, is one of those dudes. It's all already been done.
Yeah.
It's all already been done. And really what they should have done, I mean, just do it once or twice. But the thing is, like, in my opinion, the greatest thing they ever did on SNL politically, ever, was...
During the campaign, I really thought they were convinced they had more stroke than they thought they did. They thought they were going to get either they thought they thought they were going to get Bernie Sanders run out of town and never heard from again.
Yeah.
And that didn't work. Then they thought they were going to get their girl elected. That didn't work. Now they've got a vendetta, and it's just pathetic.
Yeah, the Bernie stuff was great.
And I love
Larry
the show.
David.
I like to like the show.
Sure. Yeah, I love SNL too. I've got like a couple of things about it that make me nuts. That's one of them. The Bernie Sanders stuff was great just because it was fun to see Larry David play himself.
Yeah.
Burn Your Enthusiasm was awesome. That was really, really good. But my favorite ongoing political thing ever was Sarah Palin. And it's not because it was Tina Fey, and it's not because it was, oh my God, crap your pants funny. It's because I think it was 2, maybe 3 weeks in a row, literally every line that character had on that show was from a quote.
Yeah.
All of it. They didn't write any of it. That's the
Yeah.
greatest thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
And that's what you should have done with Donald Trump, but you only got about 2 weeks worth of material that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say, I mean, people, oh man, Trump apologist, hardly. It's because what does Donald talk about these days? Oh, November. Oh, that night in November, it was glorious, glorious night. Remember that glorious night?
Yeah.
Remember that map with all the red and no blue? Oh, it's amazing. That's all he talks about. You're out of jokes, man, because literally he talks about having won an election. Still, it's all he talks about. Please move on. Please make another joke, man. But yeah, my other thing that drives me crazy about SNL is how upset Lorne still is at Sinead O'Connor for punk rocking his little program. He's still mad about that.
I
It's
get
like,
my show.
you do realize she was 100% right, don't you?
Yeah.
You do get it. New York City ain't booing her no more. I still think that stuff is hilarious. I mean, that was like the last time, oh man, she ruined her career, man. Yep.
She's fine with it.
Ask her. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. I know that here we can only relate to stuff here. She ain't from here, man. Totally different wiring, totally different agenda, totally different. But it's weird because people still, some people that flock to that are still like, yeah,
And the reason why, I mean, we bought all the bashing of her back in the day because we really didn't realize how bad it was over there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the years after the fact, you can kind of see like, oh, dude, man, she was right on.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is people don't say that. People still don't say that. You can have Spotlight win Oscars because that's about the Boston Globe exposing the church. And it was about, I don't know, it was 2001. That's a great movie, by the way. I loved it. But still, I'm just like, where is the apology to Sinead O'Connor? It's all good. She didn't need it anyway. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it's like she knew. And that was her thing when she was like...
It's not as big as a deal to her as it is to everybody else who tried to make it a big
career,
deal.
oh yeah. No, couldn't have cared less, man. And it was just like... that was the whole deal, was like, did you expect the backlash? Because you were really upset at the Bob Dylan concert. And she's like, I had no idea you guys didn't know. She's like, I did not realize that I was breaking news. I had no clue that you guys didn't know because she was like, I think she said the scandal in Ireland was 15 years in the hole by then. Everybody knew. Just nobody wanted to talk about it. But it's like, no, New York did not know. But that's the thing. You have a live TV show and you want something real, the most realist thing you ever get. You had nothing to do with, and it still drives him crazy. Still drives him crazy. As he wanted to be the guy that paid the Beatles to come on, and John Lennon said, nope.
Yep.
Not doing it.
Nope.
George Harrison said yes. That was cool.
You showed up and got half his check.
Yeah, got the quarter of the check or whatever it was.
That's just... It's one of those shows that, I just hope gets good again.
It always ebbs and flows. Just gotta wait for them to get good writers again, because that's all that matters, man. Is once you got the people to write it, you're okay.
If what I understand, it's going to be another kind of shake-up kind of season because I think a lot of the people that I liked are gone.
That's a bummer.
But I just have to wait and see. There's some good folks still left on there, but it was time for some people to leave, so it just needs that refresh button.
Yeah, I mess up with SNL. I need to go back to taping it and just fast forwarding, because one of the problems is I've always picked it based off of who the musical guest is, and I don't know anybody anymore.
Yeah.
So I need to stop trying to pick them that way. I need to just record it, fast forward through all the Trump stuff, fast forward through what's his face and Michael Che, and then watch all the weird mop up stuff.
Just get Colin Jost.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that guy.
Hey man, he's got all kind of heat with me right now. He's supposedly dating Scarlett Johansson. So
Is that right? Well, good for him, man.
Another reason to hate that guy.
I think he made a mistake because Leslie Jones is all about some Colin Jost, man. That's like the funniest thing on Weekend Update because for some reason she can make that same joke every time I see it, and it's still funny. It's like just the different ways to. It's like oh, for Pete's sake, man, Parks and Rec. What the heck's that? Leslie Knope describing Ann Perkins, just all the different ridiculous ways that she describes how great and wonderful and beautiful Ann Perkins is. It's always funny to me.
Yeah. So what else happened this week?
What did happen this week? We already discussed Nakamura a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't done nothing. United got a point today. That's awesome
That's
because they went to Kansas City, and Kansas City's real good. And going on the road,
Going to Moscow.
Yeah, man. Going on the road and getting points. That's always good, man. That team is it's pretty cool, man. They are charging up the playoff ladder. It's exciting. I think that's real cool, man. People will lose their bananas over that. First game already sold out, which I'm very happy about. It's not a surprise, but it's still cool. It's neat to be able.
That's a big place to sell out.
Neat to be able to say it, man, for real. So they're up to, good God, 150,000 now. I mean, it's something insane because Bobby Dodd was right at 120. It'd be more than that. Bobby Dodd was right at 120 for the games they played there. And so I think the capacity for United is 45, something like that.
Cool.
So it's like, golly, y'all, come on, man.
That's
it's cool.
awesome.
It's just cool. I've just never seen anything like it in Atlanta. It makes me excited. What are the Hawks up to? The Hawks are waiting on Nike to unveil their uniforms, which is not a big deal to anybody but me. I love uniforms, though, so I'm very excited.
It'll be the same.
I hope so, because I love what they came out with. So I hope they don't change them up too much.
They've got like the ATL at home, and then the road stuff, and I think they're going to add like a throwback, but that's what they've been doing anyway.
Yeah.
So
I
it's all
hope
good.
that they. It's cool. Whatever they want to wear at home is fine, because that's the big thing now is that teams get to pick their home uniform. Like, great, that's cool. What's wrong with that?
Why wasn't that allowed before?
Nothing. Yes, that's cool, man. You see, the whole thing about the home uniform, the road uniform, and all that stuff, man. Like hockey got it right. You play on a white surface, so they changed the home uniforms to the darker ones. That's awesome. That makes total sense. And it's like, what are we gonna do about that? It's cool, man. Like baseball, white at home for baseball looks great because it's green. You're playing on a big old green field.
Yeah.
But nah, man, it's cool, dude. I just everybody wants them to go back to the green, and I'm like, you think you want that, but you don't.
Nah.
Every once in a while, it's really, really cool, but you don't want that.
Every once in a while, even when they put just like a little stripe of green and like the trim and stuff like that, it just doesn't look right. I don't like it.
Yeah, the blue ones every now and again I'm okay with, but overall it's like, I like what you got. I do.
The throwback that they're going to go with is like the old Pac-Man style, which is what I think they were doing in the first place anyway. So that's what they need to stick with.
Yeah, people do love that shirt, man. That one's always sold. The Dominique shirt is always going to sell, so you can always get away with that one. But it's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. I do like my basketball gear. I think it's cool. I like baseball gear too, but it's just most of that stuff I'm kind of locked in on, and people don't need to change.
I think they're changing it too much. It's like, don't do that.
Yeah, there's a guy that Arizona's. I don't know what they're up to, man. They've got too much going on.
They had that was the last game I went to. It was Braves in Arizona. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
It looked like they still had like some of the Father's Day blue on.
Yeah, that crazy turquoise, which
It's
actually
like, what
is
do y'all do?
That is a very cool color for a team in Arizona, but either do it or don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like every once in a while they decide to put that on, and it's like, that's weird, y'all.
It's like, I mean, I get, it's just like a total shake-up. Not only have you changed the jersey style from when, I still picture them in the pinstripes, but to totally change the colors and everything, it's like, stop doing that.
Yeah, everything.
Just, pick something and go with it. Just make it work.
It makes you appreciate Colorado, man, because that's the only team. I think it's the only.
We stuck
team,
with this ugly crap for years.
I think that's the only. I think that's the only team that's been invented in my lifetime that's still doing their thing.
Yeah, even the Marlins changed.
Yeah, the Marlins did change, and their new stuff is better. But Tampa's new stuff is way better. Now, I'll admit theirs is awesome, but Arizona just changes too often. I mean, this is like I think this is the fourth uniform change they've had, maybe three, but it's like
it was the purple and teal, then it went to the red and black, and now it's some god awful gray and baby blue.
Yeah, the grays are weird, man. It's just, I mean, it's okay. I don't know. When I look at the TV and I don't know who I'm looking at, I'm like, oh man. That's how come I hate the Father's Day stuff. I hate that. Let's change our uniforms from head to toe and have everyone wear the same thing for the holiday. I hate that. Oh man, that stuff gets
I would just do it for a day, fine, but especially when they do it all across the league.
That's my thing. If you want to do it for a day, that's okay, but just the home team, please, because it's like, dude, everybody's wearing the same stuff, man. I hate that.
I can't tell what's happening.
I can't. I get all discombobulated. It makes me crazy. Feel like Richard Petty. Got a star card and balls 4 miles an hour.
Oh.
That's a reference to the phenomenal wrestling opus, Ready to Rumble. It is quite good.
If you don't know, you just don't know.
It's quite good. You should watch it. It'll make you happy. You'll see that, like the man mentioned during the Punjabi prison, you'll see that piece of crap at the end of that movie and long to see that used in place of the Punjabi prison.
Praise him. In all his mercies.
In all his mercies.
I am blessed.
I love that scene. All right, I don't remember what I was going to talk about. I watched Tape Ring of Honor today, and it was Cody and Christopher Daniels, 2 out of 3 falls. That was cool because that match was pretty much the entire show. It was pretty neat. Like the only other things they did, like Jay Lethal came out and beat up Silas Young, and I think that was it. That really was the show. They had about 40 minutes, man.
Sweet.
And it was cool. It was a little frustrating in the beginning because it took them forever to get going, and that's not the problem. The problem is that one of my things about Ring of Honor fans that does make me nuts is that as long as you make them think they're part of the story, they're part of the match, they don't care what you do. As long as they can clap and do their little chants, it's like, this is stupid, man, but whatever. It was cool. I mean, it was a cool match, but for some reason I couldn't get into it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. But it's just like, I need to watch this again. So that's normally how I get it, because, you know, if it's not that I didn't like it, I need to watch it again. It's pretty cool, though, man. And to ruin it, I'll turn this down if you want to, if you don't want to know, man. But Cody did win. Cody won it in straight falls, man.
I just don't like Christopher Daniels' gear he had on.
The singlet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a minute. I'm not sure why he decided to go with that, but it's the Owen Hart tribute, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I thought Cody winning in straights was pretty neat because it moves you along. So I don't know if they're going to have like a heel addiction or if they're going to have him and Kazarian break up or whatever. But heel addiction, again, that's what they were forever. But it's just that they're kind of fun either way. But they're doing that thing that we've said Roman should do. If the Roman Reigns needs to be a heel, which he doesn't. Roman Reigns is never going to be. First things first, by the definition of a heel, he already is one. Here's the thing about modern wrestling fans. I don't know why we can't understand this, man. Whenever you go and it's like, a little kid likes John Cena, I'm a boo John Cena. That means that the performer is a face and a heel. That's what that means, because you're booing him. If that's what you want. If that's because that's the whole thing, oh man, the Miz is a great heel, then why are you cheering for him? That's not cool. If you're talking about like a jerky character that's fun and you enjoy, he is good at that. But is that a heel? Because you gripe whenever, it's basically, I want him to be cool so I can like him. They should be the heel. That's not a heel. It's not a heel, man. But technically, from the classic standard or classic definition of what the term means, he is a heel because you're booing him. And the kids cheer for him, and their T-shirt money outranks your boos because you bought the expensive tickets and you keep buying the beer. Good job there, Hondo. Everybody wins. Ain't nobody going to listen to you, man. He's never going to change over. But if he did, that's the kind of promise he should cut. Just be like, F you people, man. Forget you. But you don't need to do it. Worth too much money to do it. Same thing with Cena, man. They keep telling, when's John going to turn heel? Which I'd love it if he did. I do wish that Cena had one heel turn left in. I wish he had one left in him to put Roman over once and for all. But that's the only thing you can do. Other than that, there's no point in doing it at all.
If you haven't done it by now, you're just not going to.
There's no reason to. When would you have done it? Because that's the whole thing, man. All of us old heads waiting for them to appease us in the name of the little kid, you're crazy. If you ever think, well, I think John Cena should go back to rapping into the microphone, if you think that's more important than all the bajillions of kids that buy his toys and T-shirts, they're called mirrors. Look in one of them, man. We're not going to get what we want on that one. And that's okay. It's the same thing with like, man, I think Nakamura should be the champion forever and should just beat up everybody. I love him. I think he's great, but I'm telling you, use him less because it'll work better. It's just, man, it's all that. There are lots of people that you got to serve. That's my biggest problem is that I think that for there's a certain fan that gets nothing from WWE, and that's frustrating because that's the place that should be doing everything.
Yeah.
But as far as fans like me, the main event's not our thing. Shouldn't be our thing. We got ours. We got Benoit and Triple H and Shawn Michaels. We got it. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna get that internet smart mark dream fest in the main event. That's okay. But putting one on the card's pretty smart. Putting all of them, making a card of nothing but that at 205 is what you should have done.
Yeah.
But you screwed that whole thing up very, very badly. And I hope that's where we've discussed. I've always thought that's where Enzo should be.
Yeah.
Is if you need somebody with charisma on 205, put Enzo down. But now apparently he's in a lot of trouble. He got kicked off the bus or something, which I hate because I like me some Enzo. But
That's just dumb. That's just dumb crap right there.
I hate it. I do hate it because I love that guy, and it's like, okay.
And if he got thrown off the bus or what, I hear he got thrown off the bus. But it's like, really, that's the stuff that gets you bent out of shape these days. That's some dumb crap. Him saying that he's a Trump dude.
Oh, is that what you heard?
Yeah.
Oh, what I heard was he was trashing the company and trashing creative, and then talking about how much money he had, and it just pissed him off. Just more of the Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler stuff. Just very frustrated by him griping about his not getting pushed. Which, I mean, breaking up the best merchandising tag team in the history of the company.
He's got a point.
I think so too. I'll never understand that. So I mean, I appreciate that tag teams are not Vince's thing, but I'd always heard that it was because they don't sell merch like singles do. Those two cats did. Yeah. The New Day do. So that's more stuff. Main event. You ain't gonna have a WrestleMania main event built on the tag team match. It's okay. Just put it on the card. I just like it. Yeah,
I think there's guys that have done far worse and are still cool and get to ride on the bus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like if it's true, that would have had to have been like a third or fourth or sixth or 45th offense or something. People are just tired of it. But yeah, it sucks. Whatever, man. He'll be back. But hey, if they want to like relegate him to 205, that'd be fantastic because he'll take that. They take that sucker over, man.
Yeah. I think that's what they're going to do.
I hope so because, I mean, if you're going to have him as a solo anyway, that's how it would have broken him and Cass up, is have him win the belt. And Cass don't want to hold him back. And I know all that's like, shiny, happy people, good guy stuff. But, hey, like I said, man, there's a lot of wrestling fans. You can do a lot of stuff. Not everybody has to have one of them turn heel and kick them through the barbershop window. Not everyone has to do it that way. And Cass as a babyface would work way better anyway. How many gigantic, tall Terminators with disturbed face do you want? Yeah. Point being, if Cass is wrestling Braun Strowman, there goes his push. Yeah. But even if you have Cass as a good guy, it's kind of like, man, this Strowman cat. What are you doing, man? This is messed up. You hurting people. And he goes out there and Braun Strowman kills him, but he keeps getting up and keeps fighting. Now you got them both over. Yeah. You can get people over without them winning all the time. It is possible. Yeah. Just make him Kobashi. Yep. That would work. Kobashi. I was listening to somebody gripe about how Japanese wrestlers don't sell, and they're not wrong. A lot of them don't because that's just they work a different style there. It's just different. But Kobashi, on the other hand, there's a reason that he's Kobashi because he's Hulk Hogan. He is Japanese Hulk Hogan, man, as far as like the revving up, the big fight back, a lot more back and forth in his matches than Hogan's matches, and he's way more. I mean, he's just didn't protect himself like Hulk did, and I don't mean that as an insult to Hulk. Hulk's smart, but he's the king. He's like the most selling, most animated. I mean, there's a reason people love that guy so much. I mean, Masao was just like Stone Cold Killer even after you put dynamite in his butthole. And Masao was my man. It's not a diss. It's just the styles are different. But Kobashi somewhere along the way saw some American stuff and was like, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And he's the man.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. It's cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Man, I'm like almost falling asleep here.
I can dig it. I can dig it. We got 48 minutes of nothing. And I like it. It worked out good, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Have a good one, y'all.
We'll see y'all.
Yeah.